That's it. That's all there is. And then the caption, me when Tommy Wiseau tried to take the mic stand from James Franco. That's what this picture is for.
In recent years, we've seen a common social media trend emerge, the Finsta. Short for fake Instagram, this new form of social media has provided an outlet for teens and young adults to portray their so-called true selves. Unable to depict their true identity on their regular public Instagram, they open up a private Instagram in order to create a space for themselves to complain about life and share unprofessional pictures. Only allowing their closest friends to follow their account makes it feel safe for them to share their private thoughts. But over time, it's apparent that the private Instagram has lost its purpose. Aware of the audience and the Finsta culture, users' posts tend to cater to the common expectations. What we see are individuals portraying themselves as more sexually experienced, more involved in the party scene, even more stressed out. But overall, Finstas have simply become another version of ourselves. Can you show me your regular Instagram?
Okay. Do you want me to, open a picture?
This one, it says living lavish.
Oh, here's me exploring at the Joshua Park. And then the rest is just pictures of concerts and my friends. I don't even post that many pictures of myself, to be honest, now that I look at it. Don't have any selfies or anything.
Now show me your Finsta.
There's nothing on here that's remotely interesting.
One of them says, friends, music, food, weed, and basketball. I am content. Yeah, I have a lot at parties or just just partying with some friends.
There's me fancy drinking drinks at restaurants because now I'm 21. And also,
What's the caption?
I want to be this lit right now.
do you see this? Do you see this? This is how depressing this Instagram account is. My Instagram is just a collection of my forehead selfies, videos from my concerts, and screenshots of just random things. And in the beginning, honestly, it was so dumb. I would just literally post pictures from class. But also it's because I like to ramble and talk a lot, so sometimes when there's no one to listen to me, I'll go on there and just talk about whatever I want to talk about and just release it into the internet sphere.
Okay, you want to read me one of your posts?
My specialty, putting my feelings under a rug and ignoring them for as long as possible until I'm forced to face them. Some random picture.
I think that they are two different versions of myself just because my actual Instagram is probably more polished and filtered than my private Instagram, because the private Instagram is more of kind of not really a blog, but just a collection of pictures or my thoughts on things and
all kinds of, it's pretty much like a diary, honestly.
But I don't like posting necessarily what I do. I mostly post what I think, if that makes sense.
I don't really edit anything. I just post whatever I want, whenever I want, whatever time I want.
Stuff like that, where I can just go all out. But on my actual Instagram, it's just probably pictures of things that I do that seem fun.
And usually my pictures are the best representation of myself, things I've edited a lot. I spent a good 20 minutes looking through my regular Instagram trying to figure out, should I archive things because do I not perceive them to be me looking good enough for others to see anymore? Do I want my Instagram to look a certain way so I hide certain photos, or do I just not want people to see how I look in them anymore?
Knowing the Finsta culture, sex, drugs, and alcohol, do your posts sort of cater to that?
It's just implicit almost that private Instagram is just meant for things that are not quote unquote appropriate.
Even now, I'll post stuff that I don't end up posting on my actual videos and things that I probably wouldn't not necessarily want other people to see, just like a place to let off steam. If that's like, for some people it's the gym, for me it's private Instagram.
I definitely have felt the need to post on my private Instagram immediately after doing something. It was almost like drinking water. You just do it because you have to, even though you don't, but it felt that way.
I usually post on there, honestly, sometimes just so people know I'm alive and I'm actually doing things.
Like if I would go out to a party, then the next day there was some obligatory post that I would have to make about going out or whatever.
Realizations that I'm coming across that I didn't know were in me.
A famous psychoanalyst, Jacques Lacan, theorized the mirror stage. And according to his theory, what we think to be our own identity is actually imaginary and simply masks our true authentic selves. He uses the example of when an infant looks at himself in the mirror, because it's that very moment when he recognizes his own identity and begins to construct self-awareness. But before this takes place, infants don't think of themselves as individuals, but just something that exists as a unified subject. Lacan believes that we've essentially lost our authenticity as we shape this imaginary identity. Lacan's theory can definitely be applied to the concept of the Finsta. Understanding that their public Instagrams don't depict their true selves, they attempt to portray what they think to be their true identity on their Finsta. But clearly what we display on our Finstas is not our authentic selves, but rather what we want people to think is our true selves. When we post a picture about us having fun at a party or a concert, we want others to know that we have an amazing social life. Never do we provide information to people thinking that they want it. We always provide such material because it helps shapes our imaginary identity.
Kind of like wants me to manipulate what other people think of me.
Yeah, it was more for other people, of course. Like, why else would you do that? It's for other people to see that you're enjoying your life and like having a good time.
Allows people to manipulate their, like, not presence, but they can manipulate other people's opinions of them through social media, definitely.
For people who get their self-worth and stuff like that from likes and from likes on private Instagram, regardless of private or public, for them, yeah, it can shape your personality, because that means that you're someone who, based on likes and who's viewing your Instagram, then like you feel better about yourself.
So do you think that your Finsta is like your real self? Like your real...
I don't think any of my social media accounts are my real self. I feel like on there, yeah, I do post a lot of like personal stuff per se, or just like like I said before, like my thoughts and maybe like statements on certain issues, but I still feel like it's just like one side of who I am or of my life.